said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while. You could miss it.
What is so dangerous about a character like Ferris Bueller is he gives good kids bad ideas.
Well, why should he get to skip school when everybody else has to go?
Syphilitic meningitis.
He never gets caught.
This guy in my biology class said that if Ferris dies, he's giving his eyes to Stevie Wonder.
Well, he's very popular, Ed.
I recall Central Park in fall.
Ferris Bueller, do you know? Yeah, he's getting me out of summer school.
They think he's a righteous dude.
Think he'll be alive this weekend?
I can see him denying popular belief, setting off on some impossible mission.
Jeopardizes my ability to effectively govern this student body.
He does whatever he wants,
You know, as long as I've known him, everything works for him.
whenever he wants. He's very cool.
And he never gets nailed.
Ferris can do anything.
Oh, he's such a sweetie.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Mrs. Bueller. It's a fool's paradise. He is just leading you down the primrose path. Matthew Broderick.
Bueller. Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Because life is too beautiful a thing to waste.
I bloody hate this film. Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to the Monday Moan. This week we're doing, as you've just seen, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Windgrace is already in the chat, saying payphones as far as the eye can see. Well, it was the 80s. Payphones were big back then. And also, can't wait to see Ferris Bueller's Day On. Don't see any of them. Don't see him at all. Bloody awful. I watched this film today, and I kept having to stop it because I was getting that angry. I kept having to do things and come back to it. It took me ages to watch it. Don't like it at all. Anyway, let's get some information about it. I forgot to set up all my stuff, all my paraphernalia. So just bear with me while I do some typing. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Let's look on Wikipedia, see what it's got to say about it. You know, the font of all knowledge. Hello, DJ. Welcome to the show. Hello, brothers. I'm back, by the way. I know I came back yesterday with, well, technically I came back on Saturday, I think. Was it Saturday or Friday? I think it was Saturday. With my review of Star Trek, the latest Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode. But I came back live yesterday with my new stream. But I'm back again now with the Monday Bloody Moan. Anyway, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986, American teen comedy film. Comedy. Written, co-produced and directed by John Hughes. Stars Matthew Broderick as a plank of wood. Mia Sarah, don't know how to pronounce. Alan Rook, who people like Windgrace recognise as Captain John Harriman of the USS Enterprise NCC 1701B. Jennifer Grey, before she had her nose done. Jeffrey Jones, who's, I think, to be honest, I think Jeffrey Jones is my highlight of the film. He's just doing his job and ending up, paying for it badly. Yes, DJ, typical 80s crap. Yes, the comedy won't be installed until Tuesday. If you're not a Trekker, no, you won't understand that. Won't press the wrong button. Pressing the wrong buttons. What else? Since Chicago, blah, blah, blah. 103 minutes. Budget $5 million. Box office $70 million. So it would have hit in those terms. Right, let's just watch the film, shall we? As usual, I'll not be just watching the film because that would be wrong. We're not on my Patreon now watching 50s 50s B movies, where I do watch the whole film and talk all the way through it or part of the way through it. Anyway, whatever. We'll be going through it in a series of stills. Might play the odd little smidgen of a clip, and all that jazz. Right. So let's get this. Let's get this cracking. Before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe. Oh, I'm rubbish at this. There we go. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, join me in the chat, share the notification. Hit the notification bell. That's what I'm trying to say. We're also live. I said we're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. We're live on Rumble. I think we are there, even though it's not doing anything. Why is it not doing anything? Let me refresh that and make sure it's doing something. Yes, it's live. We're live on Rumble. The screen was frozen for some reason. I don't know why. Could have been a copyright thing. Whatever. Yes, and we're live on Twitch as well. Don't know why I do Twitch, but whatever. Right, so off we go. Yes, we're live here. Oh, there is, yes. Archmage Frey, the person who we never see in the same place as Windgrace. Yes, we are live here. Hang on, I'll say hello. Archmage. No, I spelt it wrong. Because I'm a ham-fisted figure. There we go. Twitch activity. Anyway. Right, film. F11. Oh, for Christ's sake. Pressing the wrong buttons. Oh, I'm having a right day, aren't I? Right. Stop playing. We haven't started yet. Make myself small. It's not small enough. There we go. And we'll add that to the stream. There we go. The Paramount Mountain. Is it an actual place? That I'm sure I've looked it up before. Or is it just a made-up mountain? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure Windgrace knows because he knows everything and he's omniscient. Anyway. Yes, and he's watching this review non-linearly, his Archmage Frey, via Twitch, because he is an alien entity from another dimension who lives outside of linear time, if you didn't know. Right, off we go. Paramount logo. By the way, I haven't bought this bugger. You can watch it on Amazon. If you subscribe to Paramount Plus, you can watch it for nothing, although you're paying for Paramount Plus, which is what I did, which is what we're doing here. Right, off we go. There we go. And Paramount Pictures presents John Hughes' piece of crap film, Matthew Plank of Wood Broderick. How the hell did he become a big star? He's useless. He's horrible. There's no chemistry with anybody. And he's my mate don't like I forgot his name now. Jude Law always says proper wooden. That's what he says about Jude Law. I like Jude Law, but I'm like that with Matthew Broderick. Even though I did like Godzilla, he was the worst thing in it. Some might say the second worst thing after what's the face? A bit blonde curly hair. Anyway, Matthew Broderick in. Do it then or what? Oh, there we go. I'm sure it said Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Right, Outside the House. By the way, this is a film about rich kids bunking off school, basically. Anyway, yes, Windgrace also like Godzilla. Yes, despite him. Yeah, in spite of Matthew Broderick, it's okay. I just don't watch it as a Godzilla film. I just watch it as a monster movie because it's not Godzilla, is it? Anyway, this is a film about rich kids bunking off school and generally being horrible people. You know. Anyway, but there we go. Because as you can see, 3 cars on the drive. Bloody columns. I mean, I know you Americans, Windgrace and Archmage Frey, we never see in the same room at the same time. I know this is how you all live in your palatial mansions because houses cost $10 and you don't have to pay bills or rent or mortgages or anything because you all live in luxury compared to the rest of the world because this is typical America, is this? I'm presuming. Anyway, off we go. Am I on it? Right, he's pretending to be ill. And there's his parents. Concerned. His parents actually seem like nice, good parents. And he's just taking them for a ride. The good people. By the way, his father's the most unobservant person in the universe. But anyway. Hello, Ottercar. How are you doing? That was true in the 70s. What about people living in palatial mansions and stuff? I don't know. Anyway, that might be elsewhere, says Wingrace. Not here in New York. No, they're in Chicago, aren't they? Anyway, it's pretending to be ill. He does a clammy hand thing, which I didn't really understand. His mother says his hands are all clammy, and he describes it later on. You've got to lick your hand, but he'd had his hand under the pillow, so it all had come off. I mean, licking your hand don't make it clammy. Anyway, whatever. So he's getting off school. He's trying to pretend, he's going to. I've got to go. I've got a test in European socialism, something like that. And then he goes on about he doesn't care about European socialism, but he's got a bloody British flag on the back of his door. That's how much he doesn't care about Europeans. Anyway, socialism. Then we cut to. By the way, there's a lot of how would you describe it? Like pickup shots in this film, where it just cuts away. It's like an seemingly unrelated shot. It's like obvious they've been done separately. After the fact, after main principal photography. So we get lots like foot tapping, people dancing in the streets later on. Oh God, I hate this film. I do hate it. Anyway, it's his sister. Is that supposed to be his sister or is that his mother? I've no idea. I thought it was his mother, but then it cuts to his sister. Post-production, pickup shots are done in post-production, aren't they? But after principal photography. But I don't think that's probably not his mother. That's probably somebody else. John Hughes' secretary, probably. Anyway, whatever. Go on, move forward then. There's Jennifer Grey. Pre-nose job. Was this before that film she was in with Patrick Swayze? Dirty Dancing. I can't remember when Dirty Dancing came out. Probably. That was her, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Dirty Dancing all the way through. Anyway, whatever. Right, where were we? So that's his sister. She's a horrible person as well, who doesn't know, doesn't seem to know who the principal of her school is for some reason. But we'll get to that later. By the way, recently saw Jennifer Grey in the Book of Boba Fett, where she played a Twi'lek. I'm going to say Twi'lek. I know people say Twi'lek. I'm saying Twi'lek person. Anyway. Right, so she doesn't believe him. He's winking at her. Oh, and by the way, there's like a point of view thing here. Is it this bit? No, probably before. Let's go back. He says, is that you? Then it does like a point of view there. Jeannie, is that? Come on, go to it. Blinking look, because he's saying he sees spots for his eyes. And then it goes to a point of view thing. And then she goes out of focus for some reason. But there's nothing up with him. So why is it doing that? It's supposed to be his point of view. But he's not ill at all. So maybe he could just make his eyes go out of focus. Yeah. So she doesn't believe him. She storms out. His parents say, oh, well, stay, you've got to stay off school. I'll phone school. Blah, 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 blah. Get to the next bit. So he stays home because he's a horrible person who is strangely really popular, and I've no idea why. I got getting slight Marty McFly vibes, but I can understand why Marty McFly is popular at school, or popular-ish at school, because, he's a nice kid and he plays guitar in a band and, he's got a hot girlfriend. This bugger's got a hot girlfriend as well. How the hell did he... Oh, it's Matthew Broderick, for Christ's sake. I mean, we have Charlie Sheen in it later. Why did Charlie Sheen play Ferris Bueller? I hate this film. Come on, there's his British flag. Look, there's British flag. But yeah, he's no idea about European socialism. A lot of British governments, by the way, are socialist governments. The Labour Party, for instance, is often in power. They kind of swap and truck but anyway, whatever. There we see a hat and an overcoat that comes into play. By the way, he has lots of hats for some strange reason. Anyway, right, off we go. Right, so watching MTV. He does a lot of talking to camera, by the way. Breaks the fourth wall many a time. in this film. There we go. They're talking to us now. By the way, for some reason, when Matthew Broderick talks, he always seems to, in my opinion, add an extra syllable to every word. I know he doesn't, but it just sounds like he does. Every word, it seems like forced out, you know. But anyway. His girlfriend Sloan, so maybe he's working for Section 31. See, that Star Trek reference coming thick and fast from Wingraves. Yeah. That's another weird name. Sloan. What sort of name's that for a girl, Sloan? Anyway. Right, so he's opening his coitons. Oh, no, a lovely little squirrel. Look outside. Is that a stunt squirrel? Maybe it's a Groundhog Day without the repeat. Well, I don't know. That's not a groundhog. That's a squirrel. Didn't notice that before. Well, did it just happen to be there, or was it planted? Right, what's he doing now? I don't bloody know. He's setting things up for his grand deception. And talking to us all the while. Don't ask me what he's saying. I can't remember. He's talking about, you know, getting away with it. Right, so faking out the parents and other stuff. There were other things as well, but it's for some reason skipped past that. Never mind. Here he's having a shower. Whatever. Still talking to us. He thinks he's oh no, that came after this, didn't it? I'm gonna say he thinks he's the Home Alone kid. But that was after this, wasn't it? That was 1990 were Home Alone, wasn't it? So they've ripped this off. Chris Columbus. And then he does that when he's going to wash his knob. He does that so that we can't see his eyes. Never mind. Stupid film. And here's what comes out. Still talking with his multiple extra syllables. The teacher's doing the roll call, whatever the hell they call it. What they call it? Register. What the register, don't they? That came back to me. And for some reason, in this class, there's loads of kids whose surnames begin with A, but only one begins with B, which is Bueller, and then it skips to F. I'm presuming it's in alphabetical order. And it skips to F for some reason. Because there are loads of A's, and then he gets to B, skips straight to Bueller, you know, which you think it'd be the end of the B's. It's B-U-E, isn't it? So there's no Bell, no others. Ball. No, straight to Bueller. But loads of names beginning with A. All these lot, look. You've got a really droning voice. I would make a really good American school teacher then, because I've got a droning voice. Oh, dear. So they're going through all that. Oh, I was asking, where's Bueller? And then this young lady, she says, friend of a 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 friend said he's off school sick because he passed out somewhere last night. So the stories going round are these stories that he's started, probably, I don't know, because he's some kind of genius, you know, akin to Moriarty, the criminal genius. Anyway, right, so then we cut to the next rich kid who lives somewhere in the woods in a house on stilts. It looks awful, to be honest, but there he is. This is Cameron. This is Captain John Harriman. And he's a bit of a hypochondriac. There you can see all his medicines and his plasma ball. I've got one of those. Never use it. It's in a box somewhere. He's being ill. So I presume he's skipping school as well. Maybe. Or has he left school now? Is he older? I think for Ferris Bueller, I think he's in his last year at high school, I think, before he goes off to college. So I don't know if Cameron's in the same year as him or if he's already left. I don't know. But he's not at school, obviously. There's Ferris Bueller, look, living it up. I hate it. Trying to get Cameron to come round because he's moaning this Ferris Bueller because he hasn't got a car. And Cameron has got a car. So he wants Cameron to come round so they can go out somewhere and have fun. Cameron doesn't want it because he thinks he's dying. But eventually does go. I'm just skipping past all this. Oh, this is his mother works in a realtor. His dad's something to do with stocks and stuff, and I don't know, a stock exchange chap. I don't bloody know. But they seem well off anyway. And she looks to be kind of in charge because she's got her own desk, and it's higher up than the others. And I bet she's a partner. Anyway, so then we're at school. Oh, yes, the school had phoned her up and said, Ferris is not in school today. And she went, oh, I forgot to phone. He's sick at home. Blah blah blah. This is the I forgot his bloody name. I'm gonna have to get the IMDb up because I forgot all the characters' names. I'm a bleeding idiot. IMDb coming to the rescue. Grace, this is Edie / assistant of Mr. Rooney, the Jeffrey Jones character. And she's somehow finding loads of pencils in her hair. I presume that's supposed to be funny. We've got pencils coming out. Look. Maybe she's some kind of magician. She should be in Vegas. There we go. Edward Rooney, Dean of Students. There he is with his that state-of-the-art computer there, which is a plot point shortly. But he's on the phone. There he goes. He's on the phone to Ferris's mother. What sort of name's bloody Ferris anyway? I thought it was a surname, Ferris. The Ferris wheel, presumably named after a Mr. Ferris, named after Ferris Bueller, wasn't it? Anyways, he's saying Ferris has been off 9 days this semester. I've no idea what a semester is. I keep going about Americans making up words. I don't know. I think we call them terms. Is it a term? We call them terms. The school year split into terms in the UK. Is it? What the hell happened there? Is a semester a term? I don't know. Probably. Anyway, aka aluminium. Yes, aluminium, not aluminum. It's aluminium. And theatre is RE, not ER. Same with centre. That's RE, not ER. Just thought I'd have them. But we still pronounce them the same. You just can't spell. But I was saying this to my mate. Sorry, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent. I was talking to my mate the other night, Saturday night. We were talking about how Americans pronounce things. And I'm actually saying... I read somewhere that actually the way Americans pronounce English words is probably closer to how they were spoken and sometimes spelt hundreds of years ago, when English was slightly different. But it's moved on in England, just not in America. But anyway, so you could argue that your English is more authentic now than modern English. Right, so where were we? Right, he's on the phone, isn't it? Ferris's mother. Does she have a name? Or she just Mrs. Bueller? I don't know. Tom Bueller is his father. Yes, I said father. Father. Is that Cindy Pickett? I've heard her name before. Where have I heard that name before? Cindy Pickett. Anyway, that's his mother. Katie Bueller. That's his mom. As I said, we see Charlie Sheen later on in a bit of a cameo. He should be playing bloody Ferris Bueller, in my opinion, but never mind. American is old English, says Ottercar. Oh, there we go. Well, let's say it was when they went over, wasn't it, with all the... I've seen The Witch with the pilgrims and all that. Cornish accent too, yeah. Like I said, they've hung on to the oldie worldy English, haven't they? All the these and thous. Although in Yorkshire we do still say these and thous. What's thee up to and all that. Anyway, right. So he's telling her he's had 9 days off this semester, whatever that means. He's looking at his computer. She's telling him he's poorly, he's sick, and he's having none of it. So he was shouting down the phone. Then, by the way, there's an F-bomb in this film, which surprised me. later on, coming from that man's face. Anyway, checks on his computer. Here we go. And then suddenly it says days absent, 9, and then it starts going down. So not only is he, an organizational genius, he's a computer whiz kid. Because then we see him on his computer at home. A minute. He's watching the numbers go down. Has it missed that bit out? Oh, no, yes, it has. Unbelievable. There we go. So him on his computer at home. He said he wanted a car, but he got a computer. And suddenly it's probably why he got the gig. Is it from War Games? It must be. It must be a leftover computer from War Games. And he's hacking the National Defence Grid. Right, Windgrace is educating us now. Semester is a half-year term in a school or college, typically lasting 15 to 18 weeks. All right, okay. Very good. You just got to give it a name, haven't you? Because you've got to label everything in America. I used an American term today, actually. On Friday, this week's appointment with Phil, we're doing The Blob. And I said it's Chuck Russell's sophomore directorial effort, which is another American word, isn't it? Sophomore, which we don't use it here. But, which means it's his second. Anyway, so he's on the computer, changing his school records. So surely that's illegal. It should be, dragged out by the feds. Anyway, so can't do anything about that. He's just seen that. So obviously it goes down to 2, so he's only had 2 days off. So he's in the clear, according to the computer records, which is just altered because he's a criminal. Then we cut to the school teacher talking about the Great Depression. Quite amusing, to be honest, but showing all the kids bored. This is what Ferris is missing. This is supposed to be, kind of his, what's the word? Whatever is. So this is what he's missing. So we're supposed to be thinking, oh well, it's boring. So we're glad that he's bunking off school. But no, he should be going and getting an education. Don't matter if it's boring. Well, they're all bored. Look, one kid even drooling. I actually thought that was Ferris Bueller at first. Actually, looks like him, doesn't it? But anyway, here we go. More bloody education. Second students were referred to as sophomore. What does that say? It's I don't know that from the Greek word for clever or wise, blah 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 blah. I suspect there's a bit of copy and paste going on here. Anyway, I did actually look it up. I thought I better check before I typed in sophomore in my description thing. I thought I'll just make sure it is, because I thought it meant the second, whatever, and it does. It means that. Anyway, where were we? Right, so they're all bored. She's blowing a bubble. He's, droning on. Ferris is having fun. All the kids at school, for some reason, are all behind Ferris. They're all saying, "Oh, he's sick. We've got to do things for him." And there's kids having collections. And she says if he dies, he's gonna donate his eyes to Stevie Wonder, which I thought were a bit poor taste, but never mind. Obviously, Jeannie is not having any of it. That's his sister, by the way, Jeannie. Ottercard's educational is this? Ferris Bueller more or less means iron in the hill. Well, yeah, I suppose it does. Ferris is iron, isn't it? Does Bueller mean hill? There we go. Cool. Right, why has she got plain earrings? Or maybe they are plain earrings. I don't know. These kids are on the phone to Ferris. Don't know why. It just is. There's talking to him. Just more of his deception. He's got his MIDI keyboard there. Remember MIDI keyboards? Can you still do MIDI stuff on computers? That were all the rage with like Windows 98, wasn't it? Playing MIDI keyboards on your computer. You don't hear about much of it these days, do you? This is obviously with his 5-inch, 5 1/4 inch, or 5 1/2 inch floppy, or whatever it is. Putting that, and we've got some. He's got some what they call it, samples for coughing and sneezing and retching and all that. To enhance his deception to kids at school. As I said, is obviously a rich family, because all this stuff back in the 80s were probably expensive. Talking to her, don't know why. Anyway, let's get past this bit because it's boring. This is nothing to do with the film. At first, I thought, oh, she's girlfriend, but no, his girlfriend's somebody else. As we will find out shortly. Mr. I forgot his bloody name already. Is it Rooney? Yes, Mr. Rooney. Should know that, shouldn't I? Could be thinking of Mickey Rooney. Mr. Rooney obviously doesn't believe that Ferris Bueller's ill. He thinks it's some sort of scam, which it is. So it's his job now to, expose the deception. She's telling him that they all like Ferris Bueller and they think he's a cool dude. Even, everybody likes him, even the jocks and the nerds and all them, and the Bloods and the Crips, and they all like him, etc. They think he's a cool dude. Why? I don't know. They just do. Be one of these kids that always, and one of these adults as well, always lands on the feet. No matter what they do, always lands on your feet. It wasn't me. One of them sort of people. All right. So anyway, so he's got to with him. There he is. There's Ferris playing with it on his computer, doing cheeky pictures on his computer. I was never that good on the computer to do stuff like that. Not even with Sam Fox's strip poker for the ZX Spectrum, which I didn't have, but my mate did. Honest. Which I think he pirated it anyway, because you remember he used to copy tapes, for the ZX Spectrum. When games came on cassette tape. Anyway, he's still ill, is Cameron. He's refusing to come over, but Ferris is talking him into it. There we see his dad. Oh, his dad phones up to see if he's okay. So he's, he lies to him, says he's not. So there's Cameron taking his blood pressure. He's going between them, they've got different lines. As I said, the rich. He's even got golf clubs behind him there, look. I've got 2 sets of golf clubs under the stairs. Never bloody go playing golf. I used to. But, that didn't last. As everything with me never lasts. Life always throws a curveball. So I can't go playing golf, can't bloody conventions, can't go fishing. Do bugger all these days. Anyway, right, so he's lied to his dad, Cameron, who, I don't know, his face here gets me angry for some reason. I don't know why. The expressions in his face, he looks, I don't know, it just annoys me. There you go. He's about to set off, and then he says he's not going to set off, and then he does and doesn't. Speaking of the blob, this is one of the other teachers. He's in the blob on Friday. Anyway, Wingris says I'm rubbish at golf. Well, yeah, so am I. Because I didn't go enough. What can I say? Versatile. Well, I like to try my hand at different things. I'm not very good at most things, but I like to have a go. Anyway, here's another one of the teachers. I can't remember what he's talking about, but he's in the blob on Friday. He plays like a preacher or something like that. In that. Oh, yes, I do remember what's happening here now. Is in his class, and this is where Sloane is. The nurse comes in. There she is. That's Sloane. Can you see my mouse pointer? Is my mouse pointer there? Yes, it is. That's Sloane, played by Mia. Is it Sarah or Sarah? I don't know. Her eyes are a bit too wide apart, to be honest. Hers are a little bit too close together. Hers are too wide apart. If they merged them, they'd be perfect. There's me. The oil painting here. Right, this is the school nurse. She comes thundering down the corridor. Well, not thundering, but walking with purpose. I don't know why they went for that camera angle. She's not evil or anything like that. She's not like Nurse Ratchet or all like that. She's just walking down the corridor. And Sloane's not in trouble. There we go. She's asked to come out, and she's being told that her grandmother has passed away. Oh no, that's so sad. That's more of the deception. I tell you, it's bloody evil. Evil. And obviously, she's in on it, so she's evil as well. So's Cameron, because he's the one as well that's going to be taking part. There you go. She's acting, because she must know her grandmother's not passed away. Oh, she's been told about that. So Mr. Roon has been informed of this, so he wants to get in touch with Sloane's dad. So he says, get me Sloane's dad. Get the number from the what they call it, Rolodex, whatever they had in the 80s. Have a drinky. It's shandy. Well, slightly shandy. Little bit of lemonade. But before she can find the number, Sloane's dad phones up. We're talking to who he thinks is Sloane's dad. But no, he doesn't think it's Sloane's dad. He thinks it's, Ferris Bueller pretending to be Sloane's dad. But it's not. It's Cameron pretending to be Sloane's dad. Because Ferris Bueller phones on another line. But while this is happening, he's thinking it's Ferris Bueller and saying, yes, I'm critical drinker tonight, Otakar. I'll be swearing soon if I'm being critical drinker. F off, film. Anyway, go away now. Right, where were we? So he's talking to. He thinks he's talking to Ferris Bueller. So he's saying, I want to see the body. I want to see the corpse of this grandmother and all that, because he don't believe, Sloane's grandmother's dead. He thinks he's talking to Ferris Bueller, but then Ferris Bueller phones on the other line and says, he can't come into school. Could somebody bring his homework, whatever, assignments, so he doesn't miss out. So then he starts apologising to, now he thinks it's Mr. whatever, Sloane's dad. Thinks it's Peterson. Peterson, his name, isn't it? Yeah, that's come to me. Thinks it's Mr. Peterson. So he starts apologising. But then we find out it's Cameron at the other end, pretending to be Mr. Peterson. There's Ferris telling him he's off school. Oh, pardon me, Shandy. There he is. There's Cameron pretending to be Mr. Peterson, talking like that. Oh, you're in trouble, Mr. Rooney. Talking like that because he's an actor. There he's look. Oh. They're all criminals, basically. I never bunked off school. I did actually. I got caught and I had to do, what was it, 2 weeks of, I think it was 2 weeks of detention. And luckily, it was around about Christmas time. I'm going off on a tangent again. Look, around about Christmas time. So I did tell me mum that I was in detention for bunking off school. We used to bunk off and go to my mate's aunt's house. His auntie lived near the school. He used to go there for his lunch. And but she was never in, she was always at work. So he used to go there. He had a key. And we used to go there and drink a wine and get drunk. I'm older. I'm only 14. I tell you, a little tearaway. Anyway, we got caught. The only reason we got caught is because it was decided, it was voted that there were me and two of the lads, that I were going to write the notes from their parents, dear Mr. Whatever, Steve is not as, was off school because he was ill, signed, my mum and all that. And I got rumbled because they were all in the same handwriting. So I got 2 weeks of detention, but I didn't tell me mum I was doing detention. I said I was working on the school Christmas play, which technically I was. Because once sat in detention hall, we were helping with the school play, putting up the trimmings and, the stuff. I wasn't in it. I was just helping with it. Anyway, where were we? Right, so he's shouting down the phone at, hang on. Yes, this went on my permanent record. Is that even a thing they're trying to scare you with over there? No, not really. They didn't even tell me, Mum. They didn't even tell her. That's it. She never knew. I grassed up in adulthood. And I said, I bunked off school once, but we laughed about it because it were years in the past. Anyway, I hated that school as well. Luckily, I wasn't there that long. Because we moved and we moved to another town and went to another school, which were much better. Anyway, and I didn't bunk off from that one. Right, so he's backtracking now. He's Mr. Rooney, and so now he's got to produce Sloane at the front of the school because Mr. Peterson is going to pick her up. That's why. I presume that's why Ferris is in a suit because he's going to pretend to be Mr. Peterson. This is the bit where he goes, I am Bueller, Ferris Bueller, thinking he's James Bond because he's got a suit on. Right, so they're rushing about, getting all sorting that out, blah blah blah. It goes a little bit awry, but they sort it out. That's why they're pulling those expressions. Drops the phone, but it all works out. Right, so they've got to find out, they've got to drive to school now, but he says he's not going in Cameron's car because that's a piece of shit, he says. That word's used a lot in this film. The S word. Don't want to go in that, so it's going to take Cameron's dad's pride and joy, a Ferrari that he's spent 3 years restoring. This bit actually made me laugh a little bit, to be honest, because I think they actually did this at school, where you like run down the corridor, but then stop when you get to a door and walk, and then run, and then stop when you get to a door, and then run again, and then stop when you get to a door. I think we actually did that at school. But he's going to get Sloane, by the way. Bring her out front. Right, so this is where we learn that rich family. He's got his Ferrari. He spent a lot of money on 3 years restoring it. Don't ask me what model it is. I've no idea. There it is. There's the prancing horse. There we go. It's his dad's pride and joy. His dad loves this car more than he loves his own family, which apparently is true in this film. But another car there in the background. Don't ask me what it is. I don't know. I'll say it's a Bugatti. It might be, it might not. I don't know. Could be a Hillman Imp for all I know. I don't know. But he wants to take that, but Cameron's trying to talk him out of it, saying, no, there's 125 miles on the clock and he knows it. So it says, well, we'll wind it back. So obviously, an expert in odometer tampering as well. But Cameron's trying to stop him, trying to talk him out of it, but he doesn't try, he doesn't try very hard. And Ferris gets in the car and takes it. So Cameron goes with him. That's that. Saying, my dad will kill me, etc. But he sets off. Yeah, basically, yeah. Just rich kid hanging out with other rich kids doing rich kid things. Yes, it is. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? A Bruce Springsteen song. Obviously, Bruce Springsteen's not the rich kid in the song. He's just singing about them. Anyway, right, so here he is with Sloane, with her tassel. Is she going to a rodeo? Looks like it, doesn't it? She should be on Yellowstone, which is an excellent series, by the way. I've just caught up with it and finished watching it. It's really good. Now I'm on 1883 now. Anyway, never mind that. Right, so the waiting, the school bus appears magically out of nowhere, and when it pulls away, it reveals the there it is. Look, it reveals the Ferrari. I don't know why he put his suit on because he's got this coat over the top of it, and his Inspector Clouseau hat and sunglasses. pretending to be Mr. Peterson, Sloane's dad. Cameron's hunched down in the back of the car. So she goes down, and they instantly start snogging. Yes, it looks like Inspector Gadget as well. Yeah. I never liked that, to be honest, Inspector Gadget. But never mind. So down he goes, and anyway, they start kissing. Then he goes, she's watching. She hates her brother. Very good character in this, to be honest. And then they start snogging. Proper snogging there, like that. And he's just watching them. He's Mr. Rooney. Not Mickey Rooney, Ed Rooney. Because Mickey Rooney could do that. That's a Simpsons thing, isn't it? Mickey Rooney, I could do that. So obviously that obviously sets off alarm bells. I was watching thinking, well, why ain't he saying something? But, it does. It sets off alarm bells. There you go. Doesn't do anything about it yet. The drive off. There's a screech of tyres. No, is that his number plate's nervous? Is that relevant? Don't know. Could be. Don't even know what his dad does. Maybe his dad's nervous. I've no idea. Maybe he's a doctor and he works on the nervous system. Anyway, so they're going into Chicago, gangster style, for some reason. We're watching it, I'm thinking, is something going to happen when he goes? Because this is the first time I've watched it all the way through today, and I thought, is something going to happen? And they're going to get embroiled in some adventure that's beyond their, control, and they're going to have to, foil some criminals or something like that, to make up for them bunking off school. They'll do something good. No, don't happen. Anyway, so we've got some establishing shots of Chicago there. They'd obviously paid for the helicopter, I suppose, so they had to use. The car comes in. Where's he getting all these hats from? Maybe the car's got lots of hats in it. I don't know. It seems to have lots of hats and caps. Anyway, he's the kid that's collecting in a Pepsi can. Bit of promotion there. What they call product placement there. Pepsi. They're holding it where you can see the the logo. I mean, who holds a can like that? Never mind. He's asking Jeannie for some money for they're having a whip round for Ferris. She's having none of it. Now then, who's this on the phone? I can't remember what's happening here now. He's phoning the he phones Sloane's house, I think, and then he gets an answering machine saying with Sloane's voice. So when did she do this? I don't know. Were all this planned like weeks in advance? I've no idea. But we get Sloane's voice saying, "Oh, we're all sad, and and if you want to, we're not in today. You can find us at this number, and I presume it's a 555. I don't think she actually says it, which turns out to be the mortuary, where the grandma is. So they must have done all this, ahead of time. I say, proper, military precision. Wow, we saw 7 Up 3 scenes ago. Now Pepsi, yeah, it is. It's disgraceful, isn't it? It's the American way. Anyway, so he phones up the mortuary. Obviously, he's not really phoning that. He's phoning Cameron's house, as you can see, because there's all the medicines there and the U2 picture for some reason, because it's the 80s. So Cameron, pretending to be the mortician, just saying, sorry, we're not in, we're busy or whatever. Leave a message after the tone, or, and we'll get back to you. He obviously doesn't. But he's still not convinced that everything is above board. Pop drink timeshare, says Ottercar. Yes, it is, yeah. Anyway, so they're coming into Chicago now. They're coming into a parking garage. One of where you drive in and somebody takes your car and parks it and gives you a chit, and then you come back later to pick it up. One of those sorts of places. Obviously, Cameron's not happy about this. He thinks the car will get scratched or whatever. But Ferris says, "Oh no, I'm going to pay him a $5." Which surprised me. I've never heard Americans say a $5 before. I thought that was a British thing for £5. No, never thought I'd have heard an American saying a $5. So I'm going to pay him a $5 to look after the car. That $5, don't know. Not a lot, is it? But anyway. But Cameron's, not. This is the car park attendant. So he says, look after this car for us, will you? He says, okay. I didn't see him give him a chit, by the way, but he must have done. So he takes the car. He drives away. There we go, up into the parking garage. As we say in Yorkshire, garage. Good parks in the parking garage. So off they go. Cameron's not happy. He says, everything will be fine. But then in the background, I probably missed it. Yep. In the background, we see the car come out, look. Hey, and the two people from the parking garage. Anybody else working there? I hope there's other people working there. I was thinking, is he just stealing it? Is he pretending to work there? But they're taking the car, obviously, for a spin. There it goes. Look. Hey. I hate this film. No. The car says nickels, dimes, and quarters, where it gets weird. But you still use the term pennies, which, is odd. Right. Where were we? Who the hell is this? I don't bloody know. It's his mother. He's come home to check on Ferris. She looks on his door and checks him. Looks inside, and we hear this snoring, and Ferris on the bed moves slightly. But obviously, we know it's all a ruse, but it's enough for her. It's bamboozled his mother. But then she thinks, then we hear Rooney's voice saying 9 times and all that. So she goes back in and has another look, but she doesn't look enough. Here we see the mechanism in action. That's the dummy that's in his bed move. It's a miracle. It's a miracle of engineering. So the snoring's coming from his hi-fi. Wingray says, yes, we still have pennies, even though they cost more to make than they are worth. Well, yeah, probably. Same here. We still have them here. Don't have pound notes anymore. So they bring back pound notes. They'll be getting rid of £5 notes soon, I imagine. Just have coins. Anyway, there's snoring through his hi-fi. Anyway, she seems satisfied. The fact that he's got a false arm doesn't give a cause for concern. But never mind. So she goes back to work. Content that her son's ill in bed. Right, so there's the Chicago skyline. Don't ask me any of these buildings. Is that the Sears Tower? Or is that it? I have no idea. I know that's in Chicago, I think. Is it? Anyway, they're up at top of one of these buildings. There they are. They're up at top of this building. 1,373 feet above the ground. Is it the tallest building in the world at this time? Probably. Don't know who these fellas are with the funny hats on. Why? Don't know. They're just there. Does it mean anything? Don't know. Suppose if you research it, it might do. But they're looking down, they're pressing the head against the glass and looking down and toss of. Then after that, they go to the Chicago Stock Exchange. I don't know. Which one is it in Chicago? I don't know. Is it the NASDAQ or whatever? I don't bloody We've seen them giving it all the buy, sell in orange juice and whatever's in trading places. Sears Tower was in Chicago. It was renamed the Willis Tower in 2009. I told you Winggrace knows everything. Knows all. Sees all. Right. So they're there for some reason. Don't know why. They're watching that going on. He's pretending to do all that. Don't know why they're there. They're just there. Maybe they just wanted to see what was going on. They're having a day out. So they've got to decide what to do next. What they're talking about, can't remember. Something inconsequential, because they never talk about anything of consequence. There aren't even any consequences for, Ferris Bueller's actions in this film. Anyway, it's lunchtime now, I presume. Yes, it is lunchtime. So they're going to Chez Louise, which I presume is a posh French restaurant. So they're going there. Ferris, obviously it's unattended, is the booking in book, whatever the hell they call it. So he's just looking at that, looking for a name. Ottokar's saying they are members of the Rheinische Verein. It's a German club that celebrates Fasching, apparently. What the hell's Fasching? There's a lot of German things then in this film. There's a big German thing afloat. They go to a parade. There's a big German thing going on there. Why? Don't know. Is it a John Hughes thing? Don't know. Or would they just happen to be filming that day when there was a big German parade going on? About American Germans. I thought, crikey. Anyway, so he's looking at the book. There we go. He's finding a name. There we go. Froman. Table for 3. That's what he's wanting. Abe Froman at 12 o'clock. So that's just handy for him, isn't it? Because there's 3 of them. So he's going to pretend now to be Abe Froman because, he's wicked. Here what they've got, Maitre D arrives. Being very snooty, as you would expect. And he says, I'm Abe Froman, table for 3. And obviously he doesn't believe he's Abe Froman. But don't worry. Ferris Bueller will sort it all out. Either like a criminal genius. Oh, hang on, I forgot to get rid of that, didn't I? You can't see me. Hello. He's either a criminal genius or he's just really lucky. I don't know which is which. Anyway, but he doesn't believe he's Abe Froman, a sausage magnet or something, He doesn't believe him. So he says, why don't you believe me? So he says, I'm going to phone the police. And Ferris says, oh, I'll phone the police. So Ferris picks up the phone and starts, we assume phoning the police, but he's not phoning the police. He's phoning something else. Phoning the other phone or something in the restaurant. Don't know how he knows the number. Winggrace says, oh, hang on. Ottokar's still educating us, for crying out loud. About 200 years ago in the US, held a referendum to decide if language is going to be English or German. Since more people spoke German, German used to be the language of commerce. Oh, there we go. Fascinating. But I suppose they decided on English. And now English is the language of commerce. He looks like Spike from Buffy, pretending to be French. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. I'm bleeding French, ain't I? That's how he'd say it, wouldn't he? Spike's dad. Yeah. You're a bloody puppet. Anyway. Right, so he's phoning the other line in the restaurant because he just knows all this stuff. Then he's... I can't actually remember who he's speaking to now. He's speaking to... I think he's... I can't remember. She's pretending to be something or other. I can't remember what. And then he goes on to the other line and he hears Cameron pretends to be the police and and all that. And bloody no. But the ruse worked obviously because it's Ferris frigging Bueller, in it. So they end up, having something to eat. Blah blah blah. Then Ferris goes to the toilet. We see him in the toilet in a minute. There's his sister. School. She's going to bunk off school herself soon. I remember it's lunchtime. There he is in the restroom. Sorry, not the toilet. In the restroom, talking away to camera. Is he actually talking to camera? Can other people hear him when he's breaking the fourth wall, or is it all in his head? I don't know, but talking away to us. Talking about Cameron. But little does he know, it comes out in a minute. Gets a mint. There we go. I just missed it. Little does he know, in one of the stalls, his dad. Or didn't his dad hear his son talking? Or what? I don't know. Can't recognise his own son's voice. Jeannie goes to see Grace and about stuff. And she basically, snarks off at her because she's a horrible person. And, Grace is just doing her job. All the people in this film really are doing their job. Now, here he is, look, the most unobservant person in the world. Not for the first time in this film. They're talking with his two friends down there, and just there, above there, is they're just standing there. It says, "Trust me to come to the only restaurant where my dad is." Anyway, they're waiting to get in a taxi. There's a taxi there, yellow cab, waiting to get in. But they all sneak in. Look. Why do you just walk up? Why just walk off around the corner with your back to him? I mean, for crying out loud. I hate this film. But no, they've got to faff about, look, and do all this, jostling about, bringing more attention to themselves, except he's got blinkers on as dad. Eventually they get into the taxi and drive away, and he doesn't realise that taxi drives away, and then another one just pulls up instantly, and he gets in that. None the wiser. Then Rooney's coming to find out what's going on with Ferris Bueller with his flip-up shades. I've actually got some of those. I've got some of those. Anyway, what's Wingrace saying? I mean, the fan theory is that Ferris is a figment of Cameron's imagination, a la Fight Club. Is he? What, his whole family and that, and his house as well. Oh dear. And his sister. Anyway, he's checking out, and presumably he's checking out places where he expects him to go. So some restaurant or like a Hooters or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. I don't know. But he's not there. But he thinks he is. He thinks he sees Ferris there. It looks nothing like him. It's just a person with dark hair. He thinks that's Ferris Bueller. He's obviously, some sort of idiot is ruining him. Sorry. Playing a video game. It says, "Your ass is mine now." Then this person turns around. It turns out to be a girl. Minute with this smile. It turns out to be a girl. A very attractive girl. And she gets a drink with a straw and then blows it in his face. Probably because he said, "Your ass is mine." But instead of him, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were somebody else. I do apologise." He just stands there like that. Because he's a frigging idiot. I hate this film. Frigging hate this film. Well, there we go. He just stands there and takes it. Anyway, he goes to the counter and gets some tissues, napkins, whatever, to dry his face. There's a pizza. It's a Chicago town pizza. There. Baseball happening on the TV, on the 1980s TV. And as he's drying himself off, see, I'm going to see it. I've probably missed it already, haven't I? No, we can see him there. Look, they're there. Look, the ball is hit into the crowd, and Ferris Bueller catches it. Look, we see it there. Look. Yeah, look. Ferris Bueller catches the ball. There's Ferris and Cameron and other people. But he doesn't see it because he's drying his face. And then when he looks, the camera changes. Look, he's going to look in a minute. Look. When you look, there we go, it changes. So he didn't see that Ferris Bueller was at the baseball stadium. There we go. It says, what's the score? It says it's 0 apiece. It says, who's winning? The Bears. You know, because he's an idiot. There's an old football joke you call soccer in America. But there's an old joke like, what's the score at half? No, what was it? All right, what were the score? 0-0. And what were the score at half time? You know, that's an old football joke. I didn't tell it well. Anyway, there we go. There they are at the baseball ground. You know, the sport, along with American football, that nobody outside of America understands. People say they do, you know, and even people outside of America play it on occasion, but they still don't understand it because it's American. So there they are. There we go. Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. Save Ferris. Is a god or something? Isn't he? He's a Q. Is it something like that? Another Star Trek reference. There's something going on in there. Anyway. Ferris says, "Oh, you know, we're here watching baseball, having a great time, and right now, if we'd have played by the rules, we'd be in gym." And this is them in gym, running round the field, doing laps, which you should be doing because, you know, you've got to get your education, haven't you? Right. Rooney's arrived at the Bueller house. Look at it. It's huge. Getting a bit overgrown there, though, isn't it? You know, lots of creepy crawlies in that side of the house. Anyway, never mind. So he's come to check up on Bueller. So he rings the doorbell. And obviously, Ferris Bueller, you know, being not only, you know, a criminal mastermind, isn't it? Electronics whiz kid as well. And he's wired the doorbell to all this equipment, so it automatically answers through the intercom. You know, a pre-recorded message saying, sorry, I can't come to the door because I'm ill, and I can't come downstairs, I might fall or get dizzy and fall and make everything worse. And he's answering back, and it's obviously a recording. But, you know, he's persistent, he's Rooney, so he rings the bell again, and then the same message plays. So he thinks, I'm on to you now. Obviously, the door's locked, so he can't get in. He's on to him now. He's got to find a way in. Kitchen. You were talking through the intercom saying, you know, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, Ferris Bueller. Got to find a way in, or find a way to catch Bueller. So he's looking through all the windows, and he's standing up on whatever he's standing up on. A trellis of some sort. And it's very muddy there for some reason, and he gets all his feet covered in mud, and his shoes come off, or one of his shoes comes off. And then he gets sprayed with the water from the hose because he turns on the taps, and, you know, it's comedy. Anyway, he splits his trousers as well. And in a bit, we also learned they have a dog, which were never referred to at all, as I don't think it was. Meanwhile, this is the car park attendant having fun in Cameron's dad's Ferrari. There's his friend. Both having fun. Look, wee, be the Dukes of Hazzard. Oh, God, that sounded awful, didn't it? Hey, I'm no singist. Hey, right. Let's just make sure we're still going, by the way. Make sure it hasn't all ground to a halt. Yes, we're still going on there. And for some reason, Rumble keeps stopping. But if I refresh it, it should be okay. At least I hope it will. Yes. But for some reason, the image keeps freezing on Rumble. And yes, we're still going on Twitch. Right, where were we? Right, there we go. So they're having fun in that Ferrari. I think it's from the 60s. I think it's a 60s Ferrari. Worth a lot of money. There he's got his shoes back on. And then it notices they've got a dog flap, like a big cat flap. But we didn't even know he had a dog before this. They never even mentioned it. I don't think they did. If they did, I didn't notice. So he gets through the dog flap. Obviously, crime. There isn't much crime in that area. Wingray says Principal Rooney got in a lot of real life trouble for gross stuff. Did he? Jeffrey Jones? Did he? Oh, right. Is that why we don't see him anymore? Is that knowing from this? Obviously, Beetlejuice. He were in that, wasn't he? And what he in Howard the Duck? Did he play the baddie in that? I can't remember. I think he did. I can't remember him from anything else. Did he get into? Has he been a naughty boy? Oh, right. Not surprised. Right, so he gets through the dog flap, and then we find out they've got a dog. It's not any dog; it's a frigging demon dog, isn't it? As we'll see in a minute. I'm just going to come round the corner. Look, there it is. But if it's actually, have they done something to it to make its hackles rise, or is it just giving it peanut butter? I don't know, but it looks angry. Look. Where's Damien when you need him? He'd sort that dog out. Yeah, because we did The Omen a few weeks ago, didn't we? Not in this, in Appointment with Fear. So basically, I think he gets attacked by the dog because next time we see him, he's got all scratches on him and stuff. But he obviously escapes with his split trousers. And there we go. We're back in Chicago. They've gone to the art gallery. There it is. Look, joining this line of school kids. Bless them. Look at them, little angels. Look at them on a school trip with these three bloody hooligans. Anyway, they're looking at paintings. Oh, I've got a Facebook friend who likes sharing these paintings by this fella, and I forgot who does them. Wingray will know. He's a famous American artist, isn't he? Who does a lot of this sort of stuff. Anyway, let's just say seeing him sneak into an underage kid's house in this movie takes on a new meaning with his real criminal record. All right. And he corrects his spelling there because, he's a stickler for the details, is Wingrace. All right, so he's a naughty chap. Right. So I kind of feel bad now saying he was the best part of the film. But never mind. What's the like the artist? Like the art, not the artist. That's it, isn't it? Something like that. Ottokar says they should do a sequel where Ferris is in a retirement home, Ferris Bueller's Day Out, with the original cast. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't do anything. Winggrace shared with me a link for I think a trailer for the TV series Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Obviously, I've not seen it. Anyway, these paintings, a famous American artist. I can't remember who does them. They're looking at these, right? They're looking at the art. Bit of modern art there. That's shit. Sorry. A bit more modern art. Well, a bit better, but not much. Fine. That's fine. It's better than I could do. But, I have dabbled in paint, I can't see it from here. But I'm up there, that up there. Can you see it? Can't see it. I painted that. I painted my mother back there. Anyway. So there we go. Seeing all the art. Is that a Jackson Pollock? Probably. Don't know who did that. But they're showing us art. They're giving us art lesson, basically. And a statue. Or is it a bronze? I don't know. There they are looking at, are they Picasso's? Was it Picasso that did that sort of stuff? I think it was, wasn't it? I get mixed up Picasso and Dali. No, they're Picasso's, are they? Dali did melting clocks, didn't he? So they're looking at those. He gets fixated on a little kid in this painting that's got an expression on its face. But anyway, they're looking at some stained glass. Here he's looking at this one. For some reason, he's obsessed with this face that he keeps zooming in on it. There we go. It's a kid with. It looks as though it's going. Maybe he knows something about Jeffrey Jones. I don't know. Edward Hopper. That's the one. Told you Wingray said no. Tell you, he knows everything. He's famous. Not famous enough for me to retain the name. But I don't retain any names, do I? Unless they're in front of me. There we go. Looking at the painting of the kid. He's obviously, I don't know why. But is it scaring him? I don't know. There we go. Right. The parade. The American-German parade. It's actually I think it's described as the Empire American-German parade, or Empire German-American parade. Don't know. Sounds a bit ominous to me, but never mind. So all this is going on. There we go. Gelände und Umverteilungslandschaft. Minecraft. There we go. But you can get a nice beef sandwich over there. It says on that side. Anyway, whatever. Oh, look, Godzilla. Speaking of Godzilla, Matthew Broderick, did he know Godzilla 85? Plus Michael J. Fox in Teen Wolf at the cinema. Look. Cool. See, if I wasn't going through this a frame at a time, you'd never have seen that. Godzilla 85. I don't know if I've seen that one. I've seen a few. I presume it's a Toho Godzilla. I presume it is. I've seen a few of them. I don't know if I've seen that one. Anyway, right. So they're at this parade. There we go. We see American Aid Society salutes the 20th anniversary of the Steuben Parade. They've got American Aid Society of German descendants. Have they spelled that right? Does it have an A? Whatever. Here they are. There we go. The Lederhosen. Marching bands, etc. They're stuck in a taxi because of the parade, obviously. Hang on, here we go. More education from Wingrace. This is what the director said. Director John Hughes uses the painting to personify Cameron's fear of never really being seen due to his passiveness. Okay. That's what John Hughes says. I mean, you'd have thought he'd have used. I bet they couldn't get the rights for the Scream, Munch's The Scream. I bet they couldn't get the rights to use that. So they just used a little kid in a painting. Anyway, they're in a taxi. And he sees his dad. There's his dad there in I presume it's the taxi next door. Obviously, his dad, he kind of notices him, but then doesn't. He doesn't believe he's just seen his son in a taxi. Cameron's a bit peed off, by the way. He wants to get back to the car. He says, no, we're fine till 6. Don't know what time it is now. Remember, we've had lunch. So it's sometime between 12 and, 4, we'll say. He's angry, Cameron. He notices his dad in the next car over. That's why they're looking. Woo! He looks round, sees his dad. There you go. Woo-doo-doo. Dad's reading the paper. Look straight at each other. Dad's obviously a bit of an idiot. Well, more than a bit. They looked back, and obviously, look back. It's not Ferris anymore. It's Sloane in glasses, and so she has a bit of a flirt with him, and they're hiding down there, and that's it basically. There you go. She's flirting with him. She blows him a kiss or whatever, and says hi in a sexy way. And, he smiles and whatever. Then we cut to the eye, Jeffrey Jones' eye, looking through the gate. I think he's looking at the dog. The dog got his shoe. Look, dog won't let him in, obviously. So he's got to find a way to get past that dog. If you're on a German parade, I won't be doing that. Oh, dear. Never mind. He's giving them the slip as Ferris. They're by themselves now. Is Cameron and Sloan. And they're saying, what's he up to now? Where's he gone? And Cameron saying, I knew he'd leave us, and because he's a horrible person, basically. It turns out he's got on to one of the floats. There you go. And he starts singing, except he's not singing, he's miming, but everybody's fine with it. There's this kid there miming away in the back of a German float, singing a song. I can't remember what song it is, so I don't care. But everybody's fine with it, and they're all singing along, and they're all joining in, even on an accordion. New head cannon. Why did they say it like that? Head cannon. Ferris is actually the master. Well, yeah, whatever. Could be. I'm still going for Q myself. Or AQ. Anyway, so he's singing away, singing a song. I can't remember what song it is. I'll not play it because I'll get copyright struck. They're all getting down and dancing. They go and see what's going on. They say, Ferris, come on, get down from there. You shouldn't be up there, Ferris. And the police come along and move them back. But Ferris is fine up there. Everybody on the floor's fine with him being there. Wait, I've missed it. There we go. New McDonald's LT. What the McDLT? What's a McDLT, American people? Don't know, but it's new. You can't see it, can you? Never mind. Never mind, don't matter. Twist and Shout, that's the one. Well, there were another song, wasn't there? And then he sings Twist and Shout, I think, where everybody's dancing. But he's singing another song first, and I can't remember what it is. Sings two songs in this. So anyway, they get moved back, and he carries on. And, for ladies in, German dress or whatever, or lederhosen, or whatever the hell they call them, they could have picked some more buxom ladies, couldn't they? Sorry, I'm being sexist, I know, but never mind. But they're very pretty. And everybody's getting down. Maybe he's doing his Twist and Shout now, I don't know. But, sorry, I keep going because I've got I've got a camera here that I use. There it is. Look, that I use to keep an eye on the cat on the night, and it keeps taking a picture every few minutes. I keep forgetting about it, so I keep hearing this click. Anyway, Windcrest. The McDLT was a cheeseburger that was served at McDonald's in a styrofoam container. Oh, I remember those. That split between the meat and the vegetables and sauce. It was a huge failure. Oh, yeah. Split between the meat and the vegetables and sauce. I don't understand. Anyway, it was a huge failure. Right, fair enough. Anyway, singing away. There he is, look, singing away. Look, they're all joining in. Even the workers, look. Even village people are joining in up there. And all the German ladies, and even the bands join in. Look, it's like Fame, innit? They're all just getting down. Even people on some steps here. These lot, look. These lot just join in some random place that's probably nowhere near where Ferris Bueller is. It's not connected in the slightest. It's just there. They just stuck it in. Dancing away. Look, they're all getting down, all having fun because it's Ferris Bueller, and I hate him. Probably because he's popular and successful. That's why. And I bet he becomes a millionaire. Windgrace is still educating us on the McDLT. It had two little compartments. It was supposed to keep the veggies from wilting and the bread from getting soggy from the sauce, etc. All right, okay. I still don't understand. But do you mean that the styrofoam container was between the meat and the veggies and stuff, and then you had to basically make your own sandwich, take the styrofoam out and make your own sandwich? Is that what happened? I don't know. I imagine a lot of if that's the case, I imagine a lot of styrofoam got eaten in the 80s in America. But there you go. We didn't get a McDonald's in our town until the the mid-80s, probably around the time this film came out, to be honest. Yeah, assemble your own, basically. Right. Yeah. And we haven't got a McDonald's now. Not in town, anyway. It closed down. We've got one outside of town, it's miles. We've got one in another town and one on the outskirts of the town I'm in. And the one that's in the other town is actually closer than the one that's in my town. Anyway. The blending of flavors is what makes the burger best way to eat gherkins. I like McDonald's gherkins. I like, pickles, as they call them in America. I don't understand why people take them out, because it's one of the best bits. I had a McDonald's Friday, I think it was. Or it Thursday? Can't remember. A double Big Mac. Supposed to be a double Big Mac with bacon, but I didn't get the bacon in it. It were ordered, delivered, and they made a mess of it, so I didn't kick up a stink. Anyway, so they're all dancing away. Right. But they're still dancing, and even he's dancing. Cat burglar or something, I don't know. Well, they're still at it. It actually went on for quite a long time. This section. Don't know who he is. Is he the mayor? Don't know. It says honoured guest. Don't know. Maybe he's a German fella. I don't know. So they're still singing away. Oh, even his dad is getting down. He looks out of the window, and obviously he can't see Ferris, but he's getting down as well. Who are they? Who are they in that photo? Is that a photo of him and his missus as young people, or is it supposed to be Ferris and Jeannie? Because they don't look anything like him. Or is it his other family? Wingrace says, I love people who don't eat pickles because they always give them to me. P.S. We have gherkins, but they only apply to sweet pickles, not dill. I don't know. I don't know the difference. There used to be a song that was quite popular. I think that was the early 80s, maybe late 70s. I don't know. I think it went into the hit parade in the UK about the pickled gherkin. I always remember it. What was it? It's long and green and it looks obscene and it always has me burping. But I must confess what I like best is a great big pickled gherkin. I remember that song. Anyway, back to the film. God, we'll never get to the end of this film. Going on for ages. Right, they're still singing away. Right. A film I hate. It's going to be one of the longest bloody shows, is this? Right. Some flowers have arrived. I don't know why. I think the well-wisher flowers, because lots of flowers arrive for some reason. We see them in the house. I think they're from well-wishers for Ferris, because everybody loves Ferris. I don't know why. But Rooney's taken possession of them. I think he tries to distract the dog with them in a minute. Here he goes. And then is this Jeannie coming home? Jeannie comes home. I don't think school's over yet, so I think she's technically bunking off school as well. I don't know what time it is. It doesn't tell us. But I think later on in the film they say she should be in school. So I don't think school's out yet. She's come home as Rooney. Got the dog distracted. I think he's basically poisoned the dog to death with the flowers. I don't know. We see it in a minute. Saying some sweet nothings to the dog. Come on, get to it. There we go. He's killed the dog with the flowers. Maybe they're poisoned. I don't know. Maybe he ordered poisoned flowers. I don't know. But anyway. Hey, Jeannie's home. She goes into the house. Doesn't lock the door. So she bursts into Ferris's room, ruining his elaborate mechanical contraption. Says, I knew it. So she goes storming back out again. She's on the phone to, I can't remember who. She's phoning somebody up. Otticar says, dog looks crowned. I don't know what happened to it. I'm saying he poisoned it with the flowers. I don't know. Right, so but obviously he's been having a bad time of it. He's got some scratches and stuff and all that. So did the dog get hold of him? I don't know. Can't remember who she's phoning. Not that I'm bothered. Right, he gets into the house. Oh, she's phoning. Yes, she's phoning. I can't remember. No, she's phoning Sloane's mum. That's it. She's phoning Sloane's mum, and she's horrible to her on the phone as well. And then she hangs up on her. She's a horrible person in this film. Wingate says, maybe Ferris has that cologne that Lucius used in Stargate Atlantis. Yes, Lucius, not Lucius. Lucius. Yep. Yes, the fella. Oh, I forgot his name now. Richard. I can't remember his name, the actor's name. I know what you mean, though. Him that originally translated the Stargate in the film. Yeah. He was in Atlantis, wasn't he? Yes, maybe he's got that. Yeah. Or maybe it's high karate. That's going back a bit. In the UK. With Valerie Leon coming after people. You can't see me. Sorry. I keep leaving the chats up. Yes, Lucius. I quite like that episode because it had her from Stargate Universe in. She's very buxom. Lieutenant, what's the face? Richard Kind. Yes, Richard Kind. Also starred with Alan Ruck in Spin City. Did it? I've never seen it. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in it. But without Kevin Bacon. Right, he's got in the house. So she comes downstairs and then he's in the kitchen and they hear each other. They hear each other's footsteps. So she thinks she's going to find Ferris. He thinks he's going to find Ferris. But they come across each other. And she obviously doesn't recognize him because she just kicks him in the face. In a minute. There you go. They both jump out. They look at each other for a good few seconds. And then she kicks him in the face. And she goes to he's the dean of students. So don't she know who he is? Whoever a dean of students is, by the way. I have no idea. Well, there you go. That's a nice expression. She's got braces on. Rock on, Tommy. So she's knocked him out, basically. Then she screams and runs off. She doesn't say, why is Mr. Rooney in my kitchen? Maybe he's looking for your brother, you daft cow. So she runs upstairs and she calls the police and says, there's a stranger in my kitchen. I don't realise who he is, and I don't understand. And later on, he loses his wallet in the kitchen. He gets up and shuffles out, and his wallet drops out of his coat or whatever. And I presume that's how she knows his name. She says his name later on. She says, you left your wallet. But doesn't she know who he is? She'd just been to see his secretary. So doesn't she know who he is as well? I don't know. Anyway, they've come back to the parking garage to pick up the car, the Ferrari, and then it's back now. They've driven back with it. Not a scratch on it. It's fine. So everything's okay. But then Ferris notices that the odometer is high in a minute. She's on the phone to the police saying there's an intruder in the house. She doesn't say, the dean of students has broken into my house. She doesn't say that. What's happening here? Rooney's car's getting towed. Because all these backs all split open as well. Back of his coat. He notices his car getting towed or whatever. Oh, over the intercom, she tells him to get out of the house. She's called the police. He leaves, and he sees his car being towed. Chases it down the street. Tries to put his keys in the door, but can't keep up. So he loses his car keys. That's getting towed as well. So he's all dejected, walking away. Walk of shame. Then Ferris notices the odometer is not on. It was supposed to be on 125 miles. But obviously, it'd be higher than that because they've driven into Chicago. I don't know how far out of the Chicago they live. I've no idea. But it's now up to 300 and something miles, as we'll see in a moment. There you go, 301 miles. It's not a very big odometer, is it? 301 miles, 0.7 miles. What if you drive like thousands of miles? It's a stupid odometer. Maybe it's accurate for the car. I don't know. It's stupid. So they obviously know something's up, but whatever. But it freaks out. Oh, we're hearing. This is where we're hearing Cameron screaming like that. All across Chicago. Chicagoland. No, you're still at it. And he kind of goes catatonic for some reason, does Cameron. What's happening here? That's his, I don't know, his sister sussing out his route. Oh, yes, the doorbell. Yes, it goes, and we see these. More flowers arrive, and a sexy nurseogram or whatever. And she must admit, I wouldn't mind, but she slams the door in their face just as they're about to say the F word. We'd heard the F word earlier on, by the way, from Rooney. He calls Ferris a F, not a cow, the F word. So she slams the door in their face. Cameron's, as I said, slightly catatonic. He's not responding to them, even though he must be moving about because we keep seeing him in different places. He's not talking to them. He's just staring into space. So then they end up in somebody's jacuzzi in a minute. He's talking to us. I don't care what he's saying. She looks sad. There we go. No idea where they are here now. Are they at somebody's house? They're not. I don't know. I don't know where they are. Obviously, they're not at the Bueller house, and they're obviously not at Cameron's house because that's somewhere in the woods on stilts, isn't it? So is this Sloane's house? I don't know. Maybe they said. I don't know. I never noticed. I won't pay that much attention. I imagine it's just a random house that they've just decided to start using their outdoor facilities. Anyway, he tips himself into the pool. He's just staring off, and he tips himself into the pool. There you go. They're all concerned suddenly. And thinking, this is where we're going to see some consequences now for Ferris Bueller's actions, but not really. He goes in, saves his mate, drags him out. But it turns out he were kidding, kidding Bueller. I thought he were going to say something along the lines of, now see what it feels like. But no, he don't say that at all. He just says, that was funny. Anyway. Right. According to Google, this is Sloane's house. Right, fair enough. Good old Google. I don't know if they said in the film. They should have captions, shouldn't they, where they are. Anyway. There you go. So he's there saying they're having fun. Then what's happening here? Police. They've arrested Jeannie. The police have arrived. Remember, she called the police. The police have arrived, not found any evidence of a break-in, despite the dead dog in the back garden. So they've arrested Jeannie for wasting police time or something along those lines. So she's in the police station, sitting next to Charlie Sheen. Why did Charlie Sheen... Wingrace will know this. Why did Charlie Sheen go with the Sheen name, but Emilio Estevez went with the Estevez name? The brothers, obviously. I know Martin Sheen, that's not his real name. His real name is Estevez, isn't it? Martin Sheen, their dad. But why did Emilio go with Estevez and Charlie go with Sheen? Don't know. But he should have been... he's in this little scene he's got more charisma than bloody Matthew Broderick has in the old film, in this little scene of his with her. Anyway, it's quite an amusing scene, I must admit, where he's giving her advice, basically, about a brother. because she's telling him, what's gone on. He's giving her advice, and they end up snogging after it. She gets all giggly. Anyway, that's that. He just seems to be staring, but yet he's still got loads of charisma. I do like Charlie Sheen, I must admit. More than Matthew Broderick. And I like his jacket and all. Go on, get past this bit. Go on. She gives him advice, anyway. Right, they're back at Cameron's house now. And for some reason, they think if you drive the car backwards, it said earlier on, by the way, they'll drive home backwards to reverse the odometer. We call them. I know that's the proper term, odometer, but I think in the UK, I think we generally call them mileometers. I think that's how we generally refer to them in the vernacular. But anyway, let me have a drink. I'm getting blooming dry. Anyway, got it up on a stand, an axle stand, and they've got the car in reverse. It's got like a there you go. It's got like a brick on the accelerator pedal, and it's basically the car's driving itself backwards, thinking that'll reverse the odometer. And I was thinking, I don't think it works like that, does it? And they learn that it doesn't. Right, Win Grace, Martin Sheen is Ramon Estevez. You killed my father. Emilio claims that his dad was sad seeing Charlie Sheen use the Sheen name, so he's stuck with Estevez. Oh, right, fair enough. Why didn't he change his name back to Estevez then? Martin Sheen feel that bothered about it. Anyway. I'm just thinking of, is it Hot Shots where they see each other? Martin Sheen and Charlie Sheen. And they said, loved you in, I forgot the name of the film now. That'd be Gordon Gekko. Wall Street. Loved you in Wall Street. Anyway, that one. Right. Yeah, so that the thinking the odometer's going to go in reverse because the car's going backwards, but it doesn't work like that. It goes to check on it. Still sad is Cameron. Martin Sheen did use his original name in a few movies starting in 2011. Oh, right, very good. Well, fair enough. Not any movies I've seen. Right, so back to this. So they're having fun. Look, they're all friends. And he kind of wigs out a bit. Oh, no, go checking on the odometer. It's not happening. It's not going backwards. Oh, pardon me. It's going forwards because obviously that's not how they work. Hang on then. Oh, it's got two. Look, it's got. Oh, that's the trip count. That's the trip counter, isn't it? The top one is the trip counter. The bottom one is the odometer because it's got more numbers. Looks 316 there. 316. That's the trip counter. That's the one that you can reset. So they should be showing us the bottom one really, because that's the actual odometer, I think. Anyway, it's not going backwards anyway. So he freaks out a bit. Does Cameron? He starts smashing the car up, basically kicking it and booting it, and he's fed up and he's had enough. And there you go. He starts laying into the car, and he hates his dad, because his dad loves the car more than him, more than his family. So he starts laying into the car. We'll see in a minute. Keep kicking it, and as we're seeing it, the car shifting on the axle stand or the jack or whatever it's up on. It's up on a jack, in it, up on the jack. There you go. And we all know what's going to happen, though. We go kicking it again, and it comes off the. Did I press a button then? Kicking away at it. So he's really laying into it, and he's fed up because he hates his dad and all that. But then was it one too many times, and the car comes off the stand. There we go, and there we go. Missed it. Look. Go on, come back. Go back another. There we go. Hang on, back. Oh. He just gives it one last kick. Go on, get on with it. No, for Christ's sake. There we go. And off it goes. Falls off the jack. Smashes through the window. Into the trees it goes. So he says, oh, you killed the car. And he says, oh, what am I going to do? I'm a dead man, etc. Actually, I was surprised here. There you go, there's the car. Not in great nick. And Ferris offers to take blame for it. I thought, well, good for you, Ferris. He says, your dad hates me already, so I'll take the blame for all this. But it was his fault anyway. But he just tried to take the blame. He says, it wasn't my idea to take the car, he says, but Cameron says, I could have stopped you. Says, even the mighty Ferris Bueller's not unstoppable. So this is him saying he'll take the blame. But Cameron says, no, this is my mess. I will deal with it. And all that jazz. And Ferris, doesn't argue. Says, fine. Hate him. Look, they're all laughing now. Look, because his dad's car's smashed up and it's all cool. But I suppose it's his way of getting to his dad, I suppose. We never find out what happened, by the way. Maybe his dad murdered him. I don't know. Right, so Mrs. Bueller's gone to pick up Jeannie from the police station. I think they're letting her off with a warning or whatever, but there she is, tonguing Charlie Sheen. I don't think his character's got a name. He might actually say it, but in the credits it just says boy in police station. But I'm sure he says his name, but I can't remember. Anyway, there they are, look. So they go. She gets all giddy. I thought she would have fallen down the stairs, actually. She says, everybody calls, it says, what's your name? She says, Jeannie, but everybody calls me Shauna. I thought, never mind. Jean. Says Jean, but everybody calls me Sean. I don't know why she said that. But she's getting all giddy because she's just been snogging Charlie Sheen. Right, so Ferris is back at, I presume this is Sloane's house. So saying goodbye to her. By the way, there was a little subplot where he wants to marry her and she was prepared to get married to him that very day. Obviously, that didn't happen. But she says it here. Says, "Oh, I'm going to marry that man." There you go. Another kiss. There you go. It's nearly 6 o'clock, so he's got to get home because his parents arrive at exactly 6 o'clock. There's never any traffic or anything like that. So he's running home. Sloane must live miles from the Bueller's house, even though he's got like 5 minutes to get there, less than 5 minutes. But it's like seems a long way he's running. He's very fit and athletic. He's leaping over fences and all sorts. This is Jeannie and a mother, I forgot her name, Katie, driving home, and she sees they nearly run over. Got the most unobservant parents. They almost run over. There we go. Him, Ferris, kind of George McFly style. For some reason, I don't know why, his mother doesn't see him. She's like obsessed with these papers that she's got. She doesn't see him. Jeannie sees him, obviously, and he runs off. There's Ferris, and she thinks she's got to get home now. She's got to get home before he does, and spill the beans and all that because she hates her brother. There you go. She's not even looking. Look, she's got squinty eyes. So he's running off. He hits the gas. Then she gets chased by the police. Have this whole big thing where she's being chased by the police. You don't see what happens. There you go. Police chasing her. There you go. Running through past somebody's barbecue. Steals their Pepsi that he's holding that you can see the label. He drinks that. Runs past these two young fillies sunbathing in the 6 o'clock in the evening light. They won't get much of a tan there, will they? I mean, they're facing away from the sun, for Christ's sake. But he runs past. There you go, runs past, and then goes back and says, "Hello, I'm Ferris Bueller. What happened to Sloan? Look, he's a hound, isn't he? I hate him." Right, his dad's on his way home. He actually runs at the side of his dad's car. Here we go. You see him. All right, by the way, he misses his wife and daughter being chased by the police because she doesn't stop immediately. It's like a high-speed police chase going on. But he doesn't notice that because he's totally unobservant. And then he's also, he almost runs into whatever that is. Is it a taxi? Almost runs into that. Then he sees he's driving along. There we go. And then he's running alongside. I'm going to see that. Have I missed it? Here we go. Is it? Why is this old granny weaving about the road in front of him? As we'll see, there she is. Look, hilarious. Yeah. So here he is running along, and this is his dad coming up behind him, and he looks, sees his son there, but doesn't register, like he saw him in the taxi. Are his parents? Are they on drugs or something? There must be. Because he scoots round the back of the car and then he looks again, he's gone, and that thinks, oh, it must have been my imagination. Because my son's at home, sick. Well, that, hang on, go back again. Oh, I missed it. Look. There we go. Is that a stunt person? That don't look like Matthew Broderick to me. Was this a pickup shot? Don't look like Matthew Broderick to me. Anyway, he's running through more gardens. I think he actually ran through somebody's house. I think he's run through somebody's house here. Yes, he does. Just run through somebody's house, look. So it's obviously a pickup shot, and it's not actually Matthew Broderick. Yeah. Runs through somebody's house, says his dinner's ready. And who's that? I don't know. Just somebody that technically has just broken into their house. Goes over this, as you say in America, jungle gym. I don't know what we call it here. Climbing frame. I don't know what we call it. Goes over that. Jumps over that. Here we go. They're all arriving home before Ferris. So he's got to go around the back. But the door's locked. Don't know what's happened with the dog, by the way. I presume it's still dead. They've got home. He can't get in the back. Then we see... Why don't you just go through the bloody dog flap? I don't know. But then we see, there he is. Roon is there with the back door key. He was looking for the key. There's a bloody big dog flap there. Why don't he climb through that? Roon is got it in for him. And Jeannie opens the door. And for some reason, she's been nice now. She says, Ferris, there you are. She says, thank goodness, come in. We've been worried sick about you. And he starts pretending to be ill again. And he runs upstairs, gets back into bed. I don't know, he's just laughing. She's saying, I don't know, she's saying, where have you been? He says, hello, Mr. Rooney. You left your wallet behind. That's it for that. It's his wallet. There you go. She gives him his wallet. And he goes trudging off. Dog's still dead. He runs upstairs. There's Ferris. There we go. Takes his clothes off. Jumps into bed. Gets rid of the mannequin. So his parents are walking up the stairs slowly. I think it's supposed to be tense, is this? Forgets to turn off his music thing, snoring. So he uses, remember he caught the baseball earlier on? That's called, a setup and a payoff in the movie biz. He uses the baseball. And we'll see in a minute. Probably gone past it. Uses the baseball. There we go. Use the baseball to turn off his hi-fi, and it lands in his mitts. His catcher's mitts. Only people in America have catcher's mitts. Chekhov's baseball. Yes, it was. Yes. Well, If we saw it in Act 1, I think, in the Chekhov's gun, if you see it in Act 1, it'll be used in Act 3, something like that, isn't it? Anyway, so he's there still pretending to be ill. Obviously, there's no consequences whatsoever for all this stuff he's been up to. The damage to Cameron's car, it's essentially his fault. Yes, Cameron could have stopped him, taken the keys off him, whatever. But, it's Ferris Bueller, isn't he? He's the instigator of all this that's happened. So they're none the wiser because his parents are idiots. So here we go. Everything's great. And then he smiles and then it freezes. And I thought, as my film, I'm watching it on Amazon, and I thought, as my film froze up, actually, it stays like that for quite a while. In silence. Then the music starts. Then we see trudging home, Jeffrey Jones, Rooney. See Rooney trudging home. The school bus pulls up, filled with students. It's gone 6 o'clock at night. Where the hell are they going at 6 o'clock at night? Should be home now, shouldn't they? I don't know. Anyway, so he gets a lift home from his the school bus. He just goes and sits down next to this girl at the back. She's saying to him, "You got a gummy bear, it's been in my pocket. It's all warm and squishy," and he just throws it away. Not it really. There you go. Oh, see there. Save Ferris. I hate Ferris Bueller. I do. I've more empathy for Rooney. He was just doing his job. The character, not the perverted actor. The character. He was just doing his job. Anyway, that's the famous ending of the film where he comes out, breaks the fourth wall again and says, "Oh, you're still there? Go home, go." And that's the end of the film. I hate it and it's stupid. Deadpool did his own version, didn't he? There you go. That's the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I hate that film. It's awful. It's the worst one of these Monday Moans. It's the worst one by far that we've had. I want to get rid of it. Go away. It's bloody awful. I hate it. I'm turning it off. Go away. The only redeeming things about the film are Charlie Sheen, who were amazing. Well, not amazing, but very entertaining in the short thing he did. And Jeffrey Jones's performance, I quite liked him in this, even though, as Windgrace has told us, he's not a nice person. And Windgrace says Deadpool did this and Princess Bride. Did they do it? I don't know. Two of your favourites. I like Deadpool. Good is Deadpool. And Princess Bride, whatever. I didn't particularly like it, but I didn't hate it. But this one is by far the worst so far. I genuinely do not like this film. I don't know what people see in it. We haven't seen Josh today, have we? Josh Kanapke. He usually pops in. He must be busy. Maybe he's avoided this one because he said it's one of his favourite films, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago. So maybe that's why he's avoided this one. Because I genuinely do not like this film and I don't know why people like it. Ferris Bueller has no redeeming features. I don't know what she sees in him. Sloan. I don't know what she sees in him. He's horrible. Matthew Broderick can't act his way out of a paper bag. Even though he won. Did he win something for Glory? I don't know. But he was crap in that, to be honest. He's not a good actor. As I said, he adds... The way he talks, he adds syllables to each word. It doesn't, but it just sounds like that. Every word seems forced out of his mouth as though it's been dragged out on string. I'm not a Matthew Broderick fan. Yeah. I think I've only seen War Games once, and that were enough, because I don't like him. But Windgrace says, I do tend to like the movie, but I agree, I do not like Ferris. I don't like the movie either. It just gets on my nerves. Not a John Hughes fan, I don't think. Was it him that did The Breakfast Club? With that John Hughes. I want a huge fan of that either, to be honest. Anyway. Otticar says, I like the actor who played Cameron in Birdie. I don't think I've seen Birdie, but John Rook. He was in Speed, wasn't he, with John Rook? On the bus that couldn't slow down. I think he was in Birdie. I don't know. Is that one about the trumpet player or whatever? Is that what I'm thinking of? I don't know. Do you like The Producer? I've never seen it. That Mel Brooks film. I've never seen The Producers. Never seen it. Never seen it. I've heard of it, obviously. It is Mel Brooks in it, that one, I think. Yeah, I've never seen it. Never got round to it. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I've had enough. I don't want to talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Off anymore because it's awful. What else can I do? Let's have a look. Let's have a look what I've got in my Monday Moan folder. Right, we've done that one. 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 I'm running out of the options here. Done that one. Done that one. Done that one. You know what? Next week we might do. Hang on. Keep you in suspense. Yeah, Mel Brooks starring Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane him that looks like Parker from Thunderbirds. I think that's Nathan Lane, isn't it? And Matthew Broderick. Oh God, with Will Farrell and Dr. Jack Harkness. Yeah, I know what you mean. As a bad guy from World War II. Oh, right. Yeah. No, I've not seen it. Not seen it. I assume it's funny. Anyway, what's next? Next week, I think I'm going to do Interstellar, another film I hate. Bloody Christopher Nolan film. Maybe. Could it be a bit long, that? I don't know. Interstellar's quite long, isn't it? Have a look. But it gets on my nerves. It does. It gets on my nerves, does Interstellar. How long is it? Let's have a look. God, 2 hours and 49 minutes. Oh, I might not. We'll see. See how I feel. We'll see how I feel. It's either that or Casablanca. I don't like Casablanca either. I've never got all the way through Casablanca. Windgrace says, never got around to watching it. Was that Interstellar or Casablanca? But I don't like Interstellar. It kind of put me off Christopher Nolan films, to be honest. I'd quite liked him up to that point. Insomnia and Memento, and what else had I seen up to that? That one with magicians. One with Tesla in it. I forgot the name of the film now. The Prestige. It's another one. I quite like Christopher Nolan up to that point. And I thought that other one, Inception, I thought that was okay. Then Interstellar came along and it threw his career down the toilet as far as I was concerned. But anyway. Christopher Nolan pretty much begins and ends at The Prestige for me. Well, yeah, it's probably his best film. It's good as The Prestige. Came out at the same time, roughly the same time as another one about illusionists. I think it was called The Illusionist. And that was quite good as well. I think his Batman films are overrated. That's my hot take. Yeah, well, yeah. I don't hate them, but I don't think they're as good as everybody makes out to be. I prefer the Tim Burton Batmans, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, I'll do Interstellar next week. Because I don't like it, and I'll be shouting by the end of it. It's awful. It's pretentious. It's pretentious drivel. Anyway, right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks, Windgrace. Thanks, Archmage Frey, whoever you are. And thanks, Otticar, for joining in. No Josh Kanapke this week. I wonder where he is. Hope he's all right. But, yeah, so thanks for joining in. So, we'll leave it there. So, wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, with Interstellar next week. Oh, I'm dreading it. 2 hours and 49 minutes. Oh, why did I pick that one? Till next time, I'll say the... Hang on, I haven't got ready with me outro. Where are we? There we are. Right, I'm going now. Bye.